All right. So the topic of this today, we're going to be all over. But I had a conversation with my buddy the Dern and Troxel's football streams, and we were talking about the Detroit Lions. We've each had our fair share of the Detroit Lions and their nonsense and what we want them to do. And it brought up the conversation about if Jared Goff, yes, this is live. This is live. We will be live starting Monday on Syndicate Sports Detroit. Probably at 2-ish, somewhere around there. I'll put out a community poll. So we talked about, is Jared Goff part of the Detroit Lions' future? Appreciate all the support of the non-Detroit Lions fans. John, if Goff is not the future, then who is? So the question is, what do you want the Detroit Lions to do at quarterback? All I've been hearing is how Goff is not the future. And Dern in particular wants the Detroit Lions to draft a quarterback if they pick in the top 10. And I respect that. If they pick in the top 10, he wants them to draft a quarterback. He feels that we do not, we keep on making dumb decisions. We don't have that quarterback of the future. Now, he believes that they're going to do two things. One of two things. They're going to extend Jared Goff or they're going to draft a quarterback. I am leaning toward the former, that they're going to extend Jared Goff. That's what I think. I think they're going to extend Jared Goff this offseason. Everybody was ready to get rid of Jared Goff, and Jared Goff is playing pretty well, even with the shutout under his belt. One thing he needs to do is, to me, he needs to stop staring people down. That's one of the things, one of the ways he can get better. All right? Now, I'm going to break my rule for this podcast. I'm going to break it. I don't plan to do it that much, but I don't want to talk about this past now. So I didn't know this until today because I thought it was different, but the Carolina Panthers have the first pick in the draft. The the Las Vegas Raiders, number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 3, and the Detroit Lions, number 4. What's up, Dave? What's going on, man? Draft a QB, sit him, Goff go for one more year, then we put in a rookie. Okay, all right. So you're saying keep Goff. Now, where do you want the Detroit Lions to draft said rookie quarterback? John, we are not getting Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is not coming to Detroit. That is not happening. Lamar Jackson has one more year on his deal, right? Or is he on his last year? Either way, he's trying to work out something. We're not taking Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is not coming to Detroit. Brad Holmes is not that type of, he's not going to do that. That's my honest belief. So I'm going to break my rule, and we're going to talk about where the Detroit Lions are at right now. Because this show is going to go beyond Goff, so don't think we're just going to talk about it. The first segment is going to be about Jared Goff. Right now, C.J. Stroud goes to the Carolina Panthers. Will Anderson is mocked to go to the Las Vegas Raiders. Jalen Carter is mocked to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I wish I had a drum roll on this soundboard because I need it. Drum roll, please. Well, I can do this. I got something a little better. And we'll talk about this for a little bit. With the 4th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. Now, I know a lot of you guys want Bryce Young. A lot of you do. And here's where I'm at. We draft a quarterback in the first round, and our defense is not ranked in the second half of the league. I'm going to have a fit. A natural fit. Now check this out. I'm breaking my rule, but I'll do it for this one show. With the 15th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Antonio Johnson, safety, Texas A&M. In my opinion, we got to get a defense. And shout out to my guy, Trox. If we draft Bryce Young with the 4th overall pick currently, which the Detroit Lions, in my opinion, will not stay there, we're going to have to pay him a buttload of money to sit on I meant to say boatload of money to sit on the bench. Me, I say we extend Jared Goff and because I believe Jared Goff's going to be here a while. I think Jared Goff's going to be here a while. What's up, Draco? Says Oklahoma's national championship goes to live on Farm Upstate. We need to spend more money on the defense, says Mudbone. But I wouldn't be mad, says John, if we get Anderson too. Well, you can't have it both. You can't have it both, John. That's not the topic of this conversation. The topic of this conversation is Jared Goff the future? You can't have both. You got to pick one. You got to pick one. And we're talking specifically about quarterback. Do you take a quarterback with one of your 2 first-round picks? You can't be mad if nope, you got to choose one. See, we ask the hard questions over here. It ain't no easy way out. What's up, Parker? Says if we had a defense with Goff, we are 4-1 or 3-2. Parker, that's what I'm saying. Now, listen, whatever you want is what you want. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us unique, and that's what keeps this conversation going. Is the fact that we all see different futures for the Lions. What's up, Dylan? Says it's off topic, but you should stream the Michigan Penn State game if you got time. Dylan, I absolutely would. The problem with that is that show will be all on the internet. It will be broadcast all on YouTube, and nobody will be in my chat. That's the one reason I don't. Okay, Tyler says Will Anderson. Okay, right now, Tankathon has him going second overall. You can hate me now. Says, bro, Goff can't read defenses. He doesn't know how to look at other reads. Okay, Mackenzie, well, who you taking? Tell me who you taking. What are you doing with Jared Goff? What are you doing with the first-round pick? And if you late joining us, according to Tankathon, we taking Bryce Young with the 4th pick and a safety out of Texas A&M with the 15th pick currently with the Rams. All right, so back to okay, Draco, come on, man. You know about spamming. So to Mackenzie's point, say he doesn't know how to look and read other defenses. And with that, Mackenzie, we got the 3rd offense in the league. Now I'm not going to dispute what you're saying. He stared TJ Hawkinson down the entire time. I caught it during the broadcast. I said he's looking TJ's way the entire way. Russell Wilson also stared his receiver down last Thursday night. Look what happened there. So my thing is, if what are you going to do with Jared Goff? What are you going to do if you think your quarterback is coming out this year? Find a team who's desperate for Bryce and fleece them, says Mudbone. Huh. Now that is what I see Brad Holmes doing over picking a quarterback. Dylan says, I mean, if we at 4, I say take Bryce Young. Obviously something didn't go right again if we at 4. Okay, Dylan, I respect that. But could that be, what if Goff finishes 40-15? 40 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Can we blame him? Like I said in yesterday's show, the Detroit Lions are 3rd in explosive plays. For those of you who don't know, those are plays of 20 yards or more. They're 3rd. They're 3rd with Jared Goff as our quarterback. Now, that's without going deep with Jamison Williams because we have no deep threat. Because I have a feeling that a lot of y'all could be changing y'all tune when J-Mo comes back. And we throwing bombs. And I have a feeling that Jared Goff going to take some time to connect with this guy. Jared Goff doesn't throw the ball deep. He hasn't in 2 years. Sir Ken, what's up, big dog? Says Goff greater than 50% of the QBs in the league. I would have to agree with that. We went over this before in last year's show. We went down the entire starting lineup for the NFL at QB, and at least 15 of them you wouldn't take. Can we get a QB in the late rounds? T-Stay Cole says I'm taking defense with the first 2 picks. Now, before, when y'all couldn't hear me, I don't have to edit that part out of the show, but when y'all couldn't hear me, and I was talking about what I would do if the Detroit Lions take a quarterback in the 1st round and we are not ranked 22 to 11, I'm going to have a fit. I'm going to have an absolute fit. I'm tired of being 27, 25, 30, 32. I'm tired of it. A late QB can't help us, Parker. we grooming him for the future. Dylan says, I mean, Goff has to watch all his reads. I want to keep him. Can't watch one guy. Very true. That is true. 100%. Brad Holmes seems like he really is invested in Goff. I don't see them getting a QB anytime soon. Dave, that's what I told these fellas, man. I told Dern that same thing. I think, excuse me, him and Kristen go hunker down and be here for a while. I actually think that, believe it or not, Brad Holmes, his future in Detroit is more connected to Goff than it is Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's Goff, to me, his future is Jared Goff holds more keys than Dan Campbell. I can see them fire Dan Campbell and keep Jared Goff. All right? So my thing is, I wouldn't overpay for Goff. Goff is already getting paid right now. I think he restructures, clears up some cap space, and we make some moves in free agency, something that we haven't done for 2 years. If you wouldn't overpay for Jared Goff, you would have never taken this dude. His cap hit this year is like $30-some million. So we already mudbone. We're already overpaying for Jared Goff. So we need some defense. We do need a reliable backup quarterback. But you know what? This is all talk that we have. We got plenty of time to talk about this in the off season. Because guess what? We going to have a lot of time to do so. Parker says our biggest needs right now are defense. QB is the last piece to be evaluated. We are riding with Goff for another year or two. I agree. And that's why we didn't take anyone in the draft. Now, speaking of defense, let's flip this real quick. Last night, during the second worst game of the year, we saw the Washington Commanders hosted by the Chicago Bears. Now, last week's me would have said that we can beat the Bears. This week's me, I ain't picking the Lions until they fit 500. I don't care if they playing Yogi and Boo Boo. I'm not picking them. What's up, Michael P? That's what's up, bro. So if you're just now joining us, this show from Monday on will be on Syndicate Sports Detroit. Dern says Bryce Young at 4, Noah Sewell at 15 as of right now. Hopefully Okuda comes back strong. We need him. Yeah, that's if he come. I'm sorry, Okwara. That's if he come back at all. I say we get Young. We need to go defense with all the other picks. Well, you know what? Dern was saying that too. And my thing is, can we afford with the first pick we get in the draft for it to be a quarterback? If the defense is still as bad as it is. Now, again, free agency is before the draft, so I think that I honestly believe we don't know. We don't know what this man is going to do. We have no idea what Brad Holmes, is he going to the talk of the offseason was about Jared Goff alone. And you know what he did? He didn't draft a single quarterback. He didn't pick one up in undrafted free agency. He didn't even pick up a free agent quarterback. No, I'm not counting Tim Boyle. Hey, Brad. Hey, Grid, do you think Brad will get rid of Goff if his job is on the line? I think his job is Goff. That's what I think. But I think a desperate man would do anything. Matt Patricia traded for a 7-game Everson Griffin rental. I can definitely relate to Lions fans. Pain and hey, Michael, you are our AFC cousins. 100%. Now, let's talk about something that I feel to be quite interesting. Check this out. This guy got a weird last name. Let's shift. Maybe I'll cut this into a segment and put it in tomorrow's show, in tomorrow's video on Syndicate Sports Detroit. Coming out of FanSided, one of my favorite sites. Shout out to my guy, Brad Berriman. I need to interview this guy. Now, this article is from yesterday, okay? For Washington Commanders, the Detroit Lions could have particular interest in trading for. As a matter of fact, I take that back. This was from today. This was from 1 minute ago. Well, I saw it earlier, so probably an hour ago. Yesterday, we talked about 4 Carolina Panthers the Detroit Lions could trade for. One of them was Brian Burns. Okay. 4 Washington Commanders, and after I go through this, we'll talk about it. And that'll be the segment. This is coming from Ralph Vacciano from Twitter. And this was from yesterday, about a day ago, right now. The Commanders are trying to trade unhappy cornerback William Jackson III, and this was according to Ian Rappaport yesterday. It's possible, especially if Washington loses tonight, he won't be the only player traded before November 1st, the November 1st deadline. Multiple league sources believe they will try to unload other veterans. Now I'm going to try and read that without stumbling. According to Ralph Vacciano, it's possible, especially if Washington loses tonight, which was last night, but they won. They did win. He won't be the only player traded before November 1st. And I think that even with that win, they still up. They're not going to pass down. All right. Do we see Brad attaining any players before the draft? That's exactly what this segment is about. Now, coming in at number 4, the man-to-man corner, William Jackson III. Jackson is in the second year of a 3-year, $40.5 million deal he signed with Washington. But as NFL media noted, it was very front-heavy, while adding he would count just $3.8 million against an acquiring team's cap for this year. The Lions, rooted in having the 3rd highest blitz rate in the league at 35.9%, have run man coverage at least at the highest rate in the league so far this season, according to Pro Football Focus. It is the Lions, the Patriots, and the Dolphins are the top 3 teams that blitz in the National Football League. So again, William Jackson, man-to-man corner, will count $3.8 million toward the cap for the rest of the year. I don't even know what the Lions have available. Last I heard, it was that. Somewhere around there. So give me a yay or nay. William Jackson III, man-to-man corner. I don't know what his stats are. He played last night, but he didn't have to do much because they front 7 is ridiculous. Dern, I believe that one of those players on his list. Number 3, linebacker Cole Holcomb. He has a cap hit of $2.6 million. That's number 3, linebacker. Holcomb may garner interest from several teams, but the Commanders surely can't ask for the world in a trade. The Lions should at least have some minor interest here. Tyrann Mathieu is on the Saints, bro. We had our opportunity. We didn't take it. I think number 2 is intriguing. If we're helping out the defense, I'm willing to take a look. That's all we have. That's all we have. That's all we're going to trade for is defense. If he makes a trade for an offensive player, he needs to be fired. Number two. This one is kind of out the box, man. QB Taylor Heineke. According to Brad Behrman, he could interest. I would take Taylor in a second, bro, in a heartbeat, and I'll be happy with that. I would be happy with that 100%. He is an upgrade, in my opinion, over Nate Sudfeld. So, Dern, I thought he was going to be on here, man. And defensive tackle Deron Payne. He was the 13th overall pick in 2018. Turns 26 in May. He has 3.5 sacks and 5 tackles for a loss this season. Not sure what his money looks like, though. I don't want Taylor if we ignore defense. Yeah, I don't think we take these guys. What's up? Phipps says, I don't want to trade for a guy who we aren't sure will stay. I'm tired of getting players of players stopping here, collecting a check, and dipping for the year. Now, here's the deal. The only guy that did that was Matt Patricia. You can honestly say that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have not done that. Matt Patricia did that. He was a Hail Mary to save his job. That's what that was. When I met Matt Patricia, and yes, I met Matt Patricia, contrary to what the dirtbags on YouTube say, they believe anything from as long as it don't come out of my mouth, because I'm, I guess, a lame and all that other stuff. But I did meet Matt Patricia. Just like I took a picture with Jamison Wood. Right? Matt Patricia, when I met him, he said he had his team. I said, this was when Everson Griffen was a free agent. It was before he signed with the Dallas Cowboys. He said, I want him too. Okay, Draco, that's 2, man. One more time and you gone for good, bro. He said he wanted Everson Griffen. He chose to sign with the Dallas Cowboys, and we traded for him. That was Matt Patricia's Hail Mary. And guess what? Matt Patricia didn't finish that season, but Everson Griffen did. He's a short-term answer. A mobile quarterback isn't going to fix this defense. See, that, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's what I'll be saying to y'all. Okay, and we back on a quarterback. We're gonna warp back to the quarterback. Okay, Pat Mahomes, Michael, don't entertain that. That's why I never read it. I'm not. He signed a $500 million deal for 10 years. He's not going anywhere at all, ever. The Chiefs won a Super Bowl under him. You think they're about to get rid of it? Not in the next 5-6 years, until he loses a step. Dern says the only way they trade for someone is if they get a long-term extension done with them with a low cap hit this year. 100%. They will. This regime will not get a rental. He will not get a rental. That's why I know, as bad as Matt Patricia was, Everson Griffen was a Hail Mary. That was a Hail Mary. That's the same year that they wanted Derek Brown. He wanted Derek Brown, and Bob Quinn wanted Jeff Okudah. Now, if we get some type of deal, we send them somebody, they send us Taylor and Payne, then that's something else. I don't know what his salary cap this is for Payne. It says the Commanders rebuffed teams who had interest in trading for Payne during the offseason. The Lions among them, question mark. But that tune could easily have changed since then, and he's arguably their number one trade asset, meaning he is something they're not going to trade Montez Sweat or Chase Young. Acquiring Payne comes with the automatic notion of giving him a nice contract extension due to his talent and what it will take to get him. But that should not sway the Lions from the interest. And if it means giving up their second 2023 first-round pick, courtesy of the Rams, so be it. Appreciate that, Darn. So now we got another. I didn't finish reading it. So it says we obviously have to lock him down past 2022 and 2023, right? But they're saying we give up our second first-round pick, which is currently at 15, I'm sorry, via the Rams. So let me know. Would y'all trade for defensive tackle Daron Payne, if it meant you had to give up the 2023 Matthew Stafford pick? Dylan says, is Swift the future? That's a real question, and that is a valid question. Right now, it's tough to see if he doesn't get a fifth-year option. So I think he's playing for his second contract. Who do you think will be a Dan Campbell Hail Mary? Well, because him and, when I said Matt Patricia Hail Mary, here's what I think happened. I think it was both of them guys. I think Bob Quinn said, hey, Matt, I made a mistake. We should have taken Derek Barnes. What's his last name? Derek Barnes is what is the dude's name? Derek who? I can't remember this guy's name to save my life. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And I think by the time he saw his mistake, it was too late. It was too late. Okay, Dern says salary, $8.5 million cap hit for Washington, 8.5 if they cut him or trade him. Derek Brown. Thank you, John. Appreciate that, bro. I knew it was a B. I couldn't figure. I don't know why. I think I'm losing my mind. Is Hightower available, Tyler? I don't think he is. Is he? He could. I don't know. I have to look him up. We need to draft Alabama defense. Well, I already went over the draft. Okay. So out of these guys, I mean, I can see them pulling the trigger for the cornerback or this guy. Either way. But would you give up Matthew Stafford's the first pick for Matthew Stafford for Deron Payne? Let me know. Man, so more trade rumors are coming out from the same. Wow, from the same website. Now this is coming from Detroit Lions trade rumors, former second round pick gaining steam as a fit. Now some of these people have connections. OBJ is a free agent. He's not coming here. He's not coming here. We could have claimed him off waivers. Not only does he not want to come here, we don't want him. Our offense will have Jameson Williams, and whether DJ Chark steps up or not, we got Josh Reynolds. Giz, do I wish we still had Sue? No. Sue's 36 years old. His best days are behind him. He can still make an impact, but his best days, that's why he's not in the league right now. Yep. Sue is not in the league right now. Rumor has it he wants to coach. All right, so this is a name that came out of nowhere. According to Eric Edholm of NFL.com via FanSided again. This just popped up. Okay. Some second round pick is gaining steam in the trade. Now to me, honestly, this is something I could see Brad Holmes doing. Because some of y'all might not even know who this guy is. He is a defensive back, and his name is Sidney Jones. Got a Super Bowl ring with the Philadelphia Eagles as a rookie when they won it in 2017. He was waived in 2020. He spent the season with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then he was traded to Seattle in 2021, where he played 16 games for the Seahawks last year, starting 11. Had a career-high 66 total tackles with 10 pass breakups. According to Eric Edholm, the Lions are a team badly in need of corners. Jones played well in an injury-abbreviated 2020 under the then Jaguars defensive coordinator Todd Wash. Now Detroit's defensive line coach, depending on whether the Lions think they'll be in contention, they could possibly be a team of interest. The finishing bit about the Lions thinking they're in contention. Okay, let me see. Jones is still young at 26 on a cheap. Now, I added the other two cheaps. Yes, he is, Darn. Cheap. It's only one cheap, but I want y'all to know that Brad Holmes is a cheap dude. He is a cheap individual. He is the everybody hates Chris, the Terry Crews of the NFL. On a cheap salary this season of $1.62 million with a $3.56 million cap hit. And he has shown he's plenty capable. He has in Pro Football Reference in 2021, his passer rating allowed was 84.3. Now, here's something that I think is interesting. This also comes from Mr. Eric Edholm. And I think that we're not talking, we talked about this earlier this season. Cam Newton is not in the NFL right now. And Kenny Golladay has no touchdowns as a New York Giant. For the current regime to make it to year 3, the Lions have to show some progress. Right now, quarterbacks are having a field day against this defense. Bringing in veteran cornerbacks such as Sidney Jones could be a temporary solution to the problem. Jeff Okudah has shown signs of progress this season, but Amani Oruwariye went from being the starter to being a healthy scratch against the New England Patriots. Now, that is a move that I can see Brad Holmes making. We got to understand, this guy in year 2 re-signed Alex Anzalone. He re-signed Josh Reynolds. I'm cool with that. He didn't make a single splash move. He didn't do anything in free agency. I know we didn't have the money. We don't have a spender. And the dude already said he's not going to draft a linebacker high. We don't have a spender at GM. We got a drafter, but he's not a spender. What's up, Mr. Poole? What's going on, man? We just talked about, is Jared Goff the future? If you're just joining us, we talked about potential people that the Detroit Lions could trade for. I don't think Brad Holmes pulled the trigger for anyone except a defensive player. One of those people is Deron Payne from the Washington Commanders. And just recently, according to Eric Edholm of NFL.com, Sidney Jones, a second-round pick in 2017, who is a cheap option at cornerback. Great bridge QB. All right, Mr. Poole, let me ask y'all a question. Let's go back to Jared Goff real quick. If Jared Goff gets you to a playoff win, do you get rid of him? Here's the issue that I have with the great bridge, the bridge QB argument. One thing I can respect, I can't stand the LA Rams with a passion. It irks me. They got a shirt that says, "Forget them picks." And guess what? Our old quarterback of 12 years went to a new team, and 1 year removed from the Detroit Lions, wins not only his first playoff game, but a Super Bowl, and will forever be the 2021 NFL Super Bowl champions. We had the ultimate quarterback who was a bridge QB for 12 years. And this is not directed toward you, Mr. Poole, for sure. But this argument, this thing is with the bridge QB, it annoys me because Brad Johnson, anyone? Who he was a bridge quarterback. Trent Dilfer, anyone? Right? Bridge quarterback. We had greatness in Matthew Stafford and nobody saw it. Do I think Jared Goff is a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford? I think it's up for debate. Jared Goff right now can't seem to throw a deep ball to save his life, but he doesn't have a deep person to throw it to. He threw some beautiful passes in LA. I think we see what we want to see when it comes to Jared Goff. And I think half the teams in the league would take Jared Goff as their starting quarterback. You know who would? Yeah. Ron Rivera defended Carson Wentz yesterday, but he would. What's up, Vision? What's going on, man? Viz, are you over the age of 21? It doesn't matter if, but what I would have to send you is ideal for somebody over the age of 21, just from what it looks like. So what do we want from our quarterback? Put it in the chat. What do y'all want from your quarterback? If Goff is a bridge QB, what do you want from your quarterback? Because right now, with no defense, Goff is 11-4. Does he need to go through his reads? He does. He needs to stop staring people down. But you can see his play has improved from last year. He got sacked on a stupid spin move on Sunday. First time. Okay, Vish, that's what's up. Email me your mailing address, please. Or, wherever that is, whether it's work, P.O. Box, it doesn't matter. So what do you want? If Jared Goff is a bridge QB, what do you want? Who do you want? What do you want from your quarterback? Sound like a song. Starting NFL QBs. This guy's playing lights out, and we're still talking about a quarterback. See if I can find them. Yeah, because this mug is old. This mug, they still got Drew Brees, Joe Flacco. They got all these guys. This is old. In 2022. Lions need to run the ball more with play actions. If there's a great linebacker who can orchestrate a defense, that linebacker should be taken. He should, but that ain't what our GM said, Michael. Our O-line, I would have to say about an 8. And that's with backups. We played horrible last week. Okay, so this is all right. So this was last year. Let me see if I can remember these guys. Okay. If our defense lets up 100 points, I want him to put up 101. Well, he's shown that he can do that unless he coached against Bill Belichick, I guess. But I'm not going to put all that on him. 4th and 9, you going for it. All right, so the starting quarterbacks for the NFL, I'll try to fill in. This is from last year. I don't know why I won't update. You tell me when I'm done, how many of these quarterbacks do you think are lower than Jared Goff? All right. I'll try and wing this. Oh, man, this is weird. This is real old. Okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady. Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings. Tennessee Titans, Ryan Tannehill. New Orleans Saints is Jameis Winston. Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray. Kansas City Chiefs, obviously Patrick Mahomes. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. The Chargers, Justin Herbert. The New York Giants, Daniel Jones. The New England Patriots, Mac Jones. Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith. Rams, Matthew Stafford. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers. Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson. Matt Ryan, Indianapolis Colts. New York Jets, Zach Wilson. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickett. The Carolina Panthers, between Darnold and Mayfield. I'm missing a lot of. Oh, here we go. Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. Here we go. This is a better list. Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow. Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson. Houston Texans, Davis Mills. Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. Las Vegas Raiders, Derek Carr. Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa. And that's the AFC. Atlanta Falcons, Marcus Mariota. Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott. And now we are Jalen Hurts, Jimmy Garoppolo for the San Francisco 49ers, and Carson Wentz for the Washington Commanders. I would take Jared Goff over Carson Wentz, Geno Smith, Daniel Jones, even Jameis Winston. I would take him over Justin Fields. I'm going to keep it a buck. Baker Mayfield, Marcus Mariota. He can run, but his days are past. I would take him over Ryan Tannehill. I would take him over, I haven't seen enough Zach Wilson. I would take him over, I got to even say Derek Carr, man. I would take him over Trevor Lawrence. I would take him over Matt Ryan, Davis Mills. I would take him over, even, I don't really care for Lamar Jackson as a quarterback. So that's just my personal opinion. Phipps says, I hate the comment Holmes made about not drafting a linebacker high, and we see how that's turning out. Well, that's his fault. That's what he decided to do. Mr. Poole said, Goff is playing great right now. Yeah, that spin move is dumb. No, he can't throw a deep ball, and I agree he doesn't have a deep threat. But as a counter, how do you elevate his play higher? Everything you just said. Mr. Poole, can we agree that Goff is playing better this year than he was last year? He now puts his left foot forward or whatever I think his left foot is forward now in the shotgun position. He also has a competent running game, and this is without no deep threat. And let's not forget that TJ Hawkinson has only been active. He only been balling for one game. Would you trade Goff if offered a first-round pick for him? Thank you, Dern. And the answer for me, I love that. I love that question. I'm glad you brought it up because somebody said that yesterday. I actually watched heavyweight. What were heavyweights? And they said they would. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say absolutely not. I'm thinking long term. Our defense is terrible. We trade Goff away. Who are we going to have? Now we're going to draft a quarterback with that first round pick. Now we're going to bring in Bryce Young. What's up, 710? What's up, man? I'm going to say no. How much blame does Home deserves for this late round drafting performance? All of it. Phipps, he deserves all of it. 100%. He is the man who makes the draft decisions. I don't understand. And I'm not a Goff truther. I don't even know where that stupid phrase came from. Who came up with that? What I do see is this. You would much rather root for the Detroit Rams than back up Jared Goff. You would rather root for the Detroit Rams. And now okay. See, I'm starting to get a headache now because I think this is blasphemous. And I think if your fan card should be revoked. You should be revoked as a fan. It was okay to root for Matthew Stafford last year, but now that he's got his chip, you can root against him. And we don't even support the dude that's on our team. I don't get it. I don't get it. The dude has 11 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. And our defense is ranked number 32. And we're talking about Bryce Young. I want the Rams to be poverty. No, because Goff is average quarterback and it's a risk to trade Goff for a 1. Remember, when you draft a new QB, it will likely take years to develop that QB unless you catch lightning in the bottle. But you know what, Michael? I love that saying. But, bro, you being a Cleveland Browns fan, you already know where I'm about to go with this. This is the Detroit Lions. We going to have Joey Harrington 2.0. Matthew Stafford, at 32 years old, won a Super Bowl. And all he did here is get counted out. Defense and coaching cost us 3 wins. Exactly. So if you call someone a bridge QB, honestly, how long is that gap? Because I don't know. When people say bridge QB, I don't know what that means. Does that mean that he's a QB for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? What is a bridge QB? What if that QB wins you a Super Bowl in that time? What if Jared Goff does something Matthew Stafford didn't? I'm gonna play defense attorney right now. What if Jared Goff does something that Matthew Stafford couldn't do? What if year 3, year 4, he does something that Matthew Stafford couldn't do? No, Billy, I saved my Kool-Aid for game days, big dog. That's my opinion. Those are my opinions. I'm not a fan of Lamar Jackson. I'm just not. His QB ability. Yeah, he can run that ball. He can run that thing, but I'm not a fan. Did you see the throws he was throwing? Did y'all see the misses he was missing? But everybody wants Lamar Jackson because, he can run out that pocket, boy. He can do a spin move. He can take it to the crib, but he can't throw worth 2 cents. I'm going to stick with drafting a QB until Goff gets an extension. Durnan, you could be on to something. 100%. 100%. And I don't know what this man is going to do. I don't know what Brad Holmes is going to do. He is the biggest mystery that I think we've ever had. And all that would have just been one playoff game here in Detroit. Forget about Joey Harrington. He was super hyped up. One of y'all most hyped QBs of all time coming. I don't know about who, Michael. I ain't never hype up Joey Twinkle Toes Harrington. Then you play the Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love role if JG wins a chip. You know, this argument is like which came first, the chicken or the egg. You know what I love is that the Aaron Rodgers has never really had a stellar defense. He's had an okay defense. He's been Aaron Rodgers is that entire team. And do I think Aaron Rodgers even now is better than JG? He might be starting to wane a little bit. He looked like he lost a bunch of steps. Like whatever little sabbatical he was on last year and his girlfriend, thunder and lightning, whatever it is, it looked like something is missing from Aaron Rodgers. He keeps his teams in the playoff every year and can't win nothing, Billy. He can't win nothing. Now Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers have the same amount of titles. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers first ballot for sure. But when it's all said and done, don't nobody care about them MVPs. Don't no one care about nothing but the fact that at the end of the day, this guy got 5 years on Matthew Stafford and they got the same amount of championships. Green Bay Packers, they in the playoffs. Yes, they are, but they can't make the bowl. They can't make the bowl at all. Detroit needs to tear the dome off the stadium and break the curse. Domes are cursed, especially in northern cities where cold weather and snow belongs on the field. Well, it might belong on the field, Michael, but I will never, ever be able to. I don't do outside, bro. Not them winners we have in the D. You would never catch me at a game. And that's facts. Jared Goff erases a lot of Matthew Stafford from my mind with one playoff win. He doesn't even need to get to the Super Bowl, just be the first quarterback in 30-plus years to win a playoff game here. Well, you know what, Sinister? Even with that being said, it took more than Goff, right? Just like it took more than Stafford. Stafford barely had a run game. He got arguably one of the top 3 defensive players in the league right now on his defensive line. And he got one of the top 5 cornerbacks in the game. We don't have any of that. We got a running back who can barely stay healthy, who has not played an entire season. We got a 4th-round pick that's a standout. It's hard with Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. Okay, Billy, who are we talking about? We can't be talking about Aaron Rodgers because they're not. Both of them guys are in the AFC. T-State Cole says, I think Goff stays to win in Detroit. What I think happens is I think they put a team around, a complete team around Jared Goff. I think that's going to take some time, and they could take a quarterback. One thing I do know is I don't know what they do. Brad Holmes is a certified mystery. Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Sam Howell, and we said nope. 7 times over. But then again, it's the same man who traded for Trinity Benson, a practice squad hero, and the Denver Broncos got him for free. Not only did they get him for free, they stole him. Did you know? Oh, that talked about Jackson. Oh, okay. Okay. But if Jackson's so great, for as good as Michael Vick was, he never won a Super Bowl. Look, Matthew Stafford had to go through Aaron Rodgers and all them other people. All I know is whether or not Goff is the answer as we wrap this show up, he needs a team around him, a la Matthew Stafford. He really does. Now, a lot of people say, well, Goff was in that same space. No, he wasn't. He didn't have Odell. He had Cooper Kupp, though. I just want to how much more time we're going to give this team to win. Giz, that's on you, bro. That's on you. You can stop being, you can pause your fandom at any time, bro. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you mean this regime, then that's a different question. Goff stays here at least 2 more years because of Brad Holmes. I think Goff stays here because we need defense. 100%. And if the Detroit Lions take a quarterback with the first pick in the 2023 NFL draft, and our defense is ranked 29 I'm going to feel some type of way. Mr. Poole with the comment of the day. Goff isn't what I'm worried about. Defense needs so much help right now. 100%. And I honestly believe if we were winning games, I don't think y'all would be looking at Jared Goff the same. But if you look at last year's work and this year's work, he's playing better. He looks more comfortable. Last year, he didn't escape a spin move one time. He probably did, but it didn't look like it to me. The Lions are lucky to have Goff. I would appreciate him more before he wants out. You know, I'll say this and then we'll end the show. Jared Goff, I think he wants it because I think the city of Detroit is like he is. Jared Goff was a byproduct of the trade. He was a byproduct. He was not the main focus of the trade. Again, I'm going to tell you what I said at the beginning. Les Snead said, forget them picks. At the draft, at the Super Bowl party, he had a shirt on that said, forget them picks. Meaning, you can have them picks. We got a Super Bowl. I went to the game. And they had a little 60-second video thanking Jared Goff. The announcer was like, thank you, Jared. They showed the plays, the Sean McVay, the going to the Super Bowl. Thank you, number 16, Jared Goff. You know what I like? Jared Goff, he stepped out, he waved for about 2 seconds, and he turned his behind around. Jared Goff wanted that game. He wanted it as much as we did. Jake says he was the sweetener in the trade. I don't think he was even a sweetener, bro. He was the gunk at the bottom of the cup. He was that when coffee settles on the bottom and you got to shake it up, or that soda. What is that? Cocoa? You got to shake up the cocoa? You got to stir it up some more? That's what he was. He wasn't no sweetener, bro. If Goff poops the bed and we have a top 5 QB, I could see us picking a quarterback. Why would Goff poop the bed, though? You know what I love, though? It seems like Matthew Stafford was on our team decades ago. And nobody was ever talking about Matthew Stafford pooping the bed. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But is Goff the future? Maybe not. Will he be on our team next year? Maybe not. What I do know, if the Detroit Lions do not get defense, and they end up in the bottom 5 in the league, and we have a quarterback on our roster who is getting paid tens of millions of dollars and sitting, and again for the 6th year in a row, we're picking top 10, I will lose my mind. I will lose my mind. There says I was. Again, if the Detroit Lions draft a quarterback with the first pick in the 2023 NFL draft, and we are ranked 27, 28, 29, 30, or 31, 32, I am going to lose my mind. If we pick in the top 10 for 6 years in a row, I am going to lose my mind. And I will say this, the legend of Jim Caldwell continues to grow. The legend, Jim Caldwell is he's like the legend of Caldwell. He will be a legend. And he wasn't good enough. Segment came in at the end, says, how do you feel about team chemistry? Like a band, they have played together and it doesn't feel like the song makes any sense. I think it's way better than last year, Seg. Way better than last year. Shannon Sharp has Detroit beating Dallas, so he says. Well, like I said, I'm not picking them at all. Next time I will pick them, they will be at 50%. I was going to say 50%, 500. That's the next time I pick. I don't care how good they playing. I just can't do it. Well, Jeremy Reisman is I like his content, but he is a Stafford lackey, bro. He love him some Matthew Stafford. Y'all was destroyed when this man got traded. And you know what I said? The video is up for you to watch right now. I said the only way I take that trade is if Jared Goff is in it. Because I knew I've watched this team. Since the end of Barry Sanders, from twinkle toes, big shoulder pads, landing on concrete at the Silverdome, a quarterback has never been the problem in Detroit. We was winning with Eric Kramer. We was winning with Rodney Peete. I mean, we got a couple wins with Charlie Batch. And the quarterback, and we're trying to run Jared Goff out of town. Get Jared Goff a team like you got Matthew Stafford, and he can do things. But with that being said, if you have not subscribed to Syndicate Sports Detroit, now's your time to do so. You can just type it in. These shows will be live beginning Monday on there. Okay, as the show grows, we'll bring in segments, hopefully get some guests, YouTube or otherwise. We'll be taking phone calls, and we'll be talking more about not only the Detroit Lions, but hopefully we get some Pistons people in here, some Wolverine, Michigan State, whatever you want around the city, we got it. Had an issue with, well, I had a issue with, had an issue with Jameson taking number 9. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Did Matthew Stafford fund Jeremy's college education? Did he slip him some bands? Come on, man. I don't understand that, bro. We're rooting for and let me get off here before I pop a gasket. Oh, absolutely, darn. It'll be planned, bro. Like, it'll be planned where we bring you in for like a 15-minute, a segment or something. So absolutely. I'm going to start going. I'm going to I'll even reach out to your favorite golf supporter, David Pike. I'm really trying to come up in this space, man. Really. So you guys have been awesome. Have a great weekend. The show will be moved to there on Monday, and I hope to see you over there. Nick, at the last minute, I missed you, bro. Can there be a gasket sound effect? You know what, Seg? I will look into that, man. But you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday.